It's added more, and it's extended it again. Just keeps going and going.
Good.
It's going to be done by Friday, Nate.
Oh, they have to get it out by Friday.
It's going to be over. The box office is over. It's a little niche film. It's
Grace Randolph.
Small.
Oh, never mind your Grace Randolph. You got to do something with your voice when you do that. I think you're actually being honest.
I'm on the laptop. I've got no bells or whistles.
All you got to do is just go so before you say that. See, then I'll know what you're doing.
So they tweeted this out yesterday. No, 2 days ago. Sorry. No, yeah, it was yesterday. Jesus, my brain. Can't get enough of Godzilla -1. Starting December 15th, the film will be playing on even more North American screens, increasing to over 2,600 locations in the US and Canada. Get your tickets today. So I think they're extending it because otherwise they're only extending it for more theaters for 1 day. So it's been extended. I mean, this is great. This is brilliant. What, like, everyone that's like, oh, it's crap, it's conservatives. Oh, shut up, Grace. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh my God.
Oh, honestly, we've ripped her apart. You haven't seen the second channel videos, have you, Andre?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
It's literally.
I just listened to you and I imagined. That's all I really
honestly. She says, like, oh, conservatives have rallied around it. No, but people just like the film, like, because it seems like a big.
Again, when you look at the box office here, you know that the lesson that should be learned from this, that Hollywood needs to learn. Maybe you do want to make movies that conservatives rally around, because if we've learned anything this year, that's actually good for movies.
Well, yeah, that is a counter argument, I guess.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's nothing political about it in that respect. It's just a very good film. It's my like we haven't spoken, Andre, about this yet. It is my top film of 2023.
Yeah, I believe you. I can't wait to see it. And from everything I've heard, it's going to be mine too. And I would like to stress that I think that 2023, comic book movies aside and Disney aside, has been the best year for movies in many, many years.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some amazing movies come out this year. The Equalizer Part 3, that was fantastic. Saw X was tremendously good, far better than it has any right to be. Part 11 was announced only yesterday. Before that, you have the new Mission Impossible, which I liked tremendously. Renfield was amazing. I mean,
look what I got from the overseas today.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Renfield.
Tetris is amazing. People are not talking about Tetris enough, and that's Apple's fault. That's fucking Apple's fault.
I agree.
I'm sorry. Air is great too.
A movie that came out.
I loved Air. Great soundtrack with Air too.
Yeah.
Great fucking flick.
Yeah.
I like Haunting in Venice. I thought that was the best of the three Poirot. Did I say it right, Andre?
Movie. We need more of those. That reminds me, I have a video to write.
Oh, The Killer on Netflix. That was a really good film, actually. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So anyway, Godzilla, amazing, and it's blowing it up. This is the highest grossing foreign language film of the year, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, should be. I mean, what else could it possibly be?
No, it's just breaking records. Is I guess the point I'm trying to say. This will be one of the highest rated movies on Rotten Tomatoes this year as well, I think, on both audience.
Yeah, it was sitting at 100 for the longest time. I think it dipped down to about 98 or 97 as far as the critics rating, but I still think the audience score is still up there pretty high at like 99 or 100.
And it absolutely deserves it. I'm really glad that it's extending theaters. I'm guessing what the mechanism for this is just the distributors were able to get the theaters, convince the theaters to open more screens for them.
Clearly.
The theaters don't need much convincing. I mean, the theaters, typically the way it works, the theaters see that, this is really selling. We're selling loads of candy here. Because honestly, like film, like CinemaCon and stuff like that, for the exhibitors, shouldn't really be about the movies. It should be like the candy manufacturers showing, here's our collection of this here. Here's our new chocolate. Here's our new blah, 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 blah. Because they go like, oh, we're selling so many tickets and we're selling so much candy for the people that want to go to those theaters. Please give us a few more screens here because people want this. I mean, that's how it works. The demand here is coming from theaters, isn't it? It's not that they need convincing. They're the ones asking for more screens because they want to sell out everything all the time, don't they? They don't have to ask. I mean, the only times when they have to ask is if they have like some kind of deal with Marvel or Disney or something, and people aren't showing up. Then they're like, can we please just, no one is watching. We're wasting all these screens. No one is coming. Please let us get out of the deal and put something else. It's bad for business to keep honoring your contract and having empty screening after empty screening when people want to see Godzilla. I mean, that's how it works. Much of this is done like locally. That's where the demand comes from. This is local grassroots demand for the movie. The theaters are the ones that fill up more screens, and the exhibitor or the distributor is only happy to sign off on more screens because it's more money for them. Everyone's happy.
I completely agree, but I'm having too much fun pissing.
No, I think the box office is what's convinced them. And I mean, yeah, I think at first what the problem was, they probably just couldn't get enough screens at first to accommodate the initial reaction to it. And the theaters opened up, and the longer it keeps playing, the more they're going to keep it there. The only thing that I know of is they have to have it out by the end of the year.
Yeah, well,
so they could push it out yet another week.
But is that only going to be in the States then? Because surely it's
just in the States. Yes, it can keep playing for, as far as I know, it can keep playing forever everywhere else. But yeah, that's the beauty of this movie, though. It's barely opened in any other countries, right? Like Mexico, the UK, Australia, I think is it outside of the US and Japan, right?
Opens the UK this weekend.
Okay, so UK this weekend. There you go.
It will tear it up this weekend. Guaranteed to rip it apart.
So this is just getting started, yeah.
So it opens in the UK this weekend.
Yep.
But you've already seen it, right?
Yeah, it's part of a theatre membership where they do advanced screenings for films like the week ahead or something like that. So I signed up to this Cineworld in the UK. I signed up to Cineworld to do this. I've never done it before.
Yeah, and it's. Sorry, Nate. I was just going to say they still don't have the Japan numbers up on the numbers. A lot of numbers aren't up on the numbers. So there's no place that has accurate numbers for Godzilla right now.
You know why that is? I think I had an epiphany about Japan. Is again what dumbass Grace Randolph doesn't fucking understand because she's a dunce. Is in Japan, like I've said before, is that Toho owns 32% of the theaters in Japan. So they don't have to report any numbers. Don't have to report any. It's not independently verified. They just keep them to themselves. Doesn't matter. I think that's probably why there's a discrepancy there.
That's crazy.
Which is fine because, sure, like they're just taking.
It's their movie money.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna see.
This is the thing. People are like, "Oh, Japan's mate." The dollar again. Grace, such a fucking idiot. The dollar versus the yen, dumbass. Do you know how much money they're making right now in the States? You're such a fool.
How much egg do you think was on her face after the director revealed they only spent between like 11 and 12 million dollars on this movie, basically?
Yeah.
Well, that's why she did that. That's why she keeps coming back and coping. And not to mention, she's probably seen our video as well.
I'm curious if she said anything else lately.
Well, look, there are times when, and I'm going to say this, and then you guys are going to yell at me, but there are times when I really think some of her takes are very poignant. She does a decent job.
But she says the most obvious stuff ever. Right. Hollywood can't live without blockbusters.
Well, true. But the problem is if you call yourself
Jesus.
But Mr. H, if you call yourself or you have a segment or a show that's called Movie Math, you need to be able to do movie math.
You know why?
Be able to share with the audience.
She takes all that from Deadline, though, mate. She takes it all from Deadline.
I know.
On a Monday.
I know.
She doesn't even use. It's not her own movie math. That's the point. That's why I was saying in the video that we already did is that she actually doesn't know what she's talking about. She literally takes it all from Deadline, or the demographic breakdown, everything. It's all taken from Deadline, and she just presents it as it's her own. It's not. She took it from Deadline because if she was smart, she'd go. Actually, Toho has 32% share of the theatricals, the theaters in Japan, so actually they must be making a pretty good profit. Actually, the dollar versus the yens, they must be making a pretty tidy profit actually in their own dollars.
And that's why I said last week when we were talking about this, or earlier this week, I should say, she has very thin opinions, right? They're very thin takes.
Sorry, your opinion. Right, sorry.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, it's just like she's a puddle. She's a mile wide, but an inch deep. She's like, there's no depth in her take because she doesn't look farther than the facts that are presented to her by the mainstream media. It sounds like I've been drinking, but yeah, but no, every once in a while she says something that's very insightful or something she's heard through people that she would know. But at the same time, you have to look at this in a broader way. And I don't know necessarily that her audience or her cares to do that.
And of course not. Come on now. Well, anyway, I can't wait to see it. Andre, get your ass to the theatre and watch it.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Right now. And the rest of yourself too. Don't just ship your ass off to see it.
Yeah, no, that would be unnecessary.
Yeah,
I'm quite attached to it. So.
Yeah.